Hi, hello, welcome back, and it's time for the redraw. Now, if you did actually watch my last sketchbook tour, which was my blue sketchbook, then you would probably know that this wasn't an actual, really big image in there. Now, I bet a lot of you thought, okay, we're gonna do the cream girl. No. Now, you see, I was going to do the cream girl, but then I decided that it wasn't really an original idea, especially since I'd seen it a lot all over Pinterest. And so I saw this little image, and it was right before the Scarlet and Violet games were going to release. It was only like a few days before. And so I decided that I wanted to redraw that piece just so I could talk about Pokemon, because this particular video has been in the works for a long time, just like the actual wanting to do it. So this is a good excuse too. I actually really like this piece, and I don't really want to spend too much time on it because I've collected a little bit of information that I'm very excited to talk to you about. And so now we'll begin. 1981, Chijiri Shitoshi, this man over here, sorry I butchered your name, started his very own magazine called Game Freak to present his little monster creations to the world. Later, he picked up some artists, one being Ken Sugimori, which ended up becoming the main magazine's artist. So the reason Chihiro Shitoshi, sorry I butchered your name, wanted to start his magazine was because he wanted people to experience the same love that he experienced while catching bugs. Later on, he decided that he wanted to make a video game off this concept, and so November the 27th, 1996, the very first game, Red and Green, came out. Later on, Pokemon Blue would come out as a special mail order and then be sold along with Red, Green, and Blue. Red, Green, and Blue also happen to be the most sold game ever in the Pokemon franchise line that I know of as of recording. It has sold 31 million copies worldwide. And so that was the birth of Pocket Monsters. It was a very brief little history section, but I'm very excited to start talking about the main stuff that they do, which is like video games and cards and stuff. So, yeah, let's go. So we're going to talk about the cards. Ready, set, go. So October 20th, 1996 was the very first release date of the cards. Now, they were released by Wizards of the Coast. I'm not sure if they were released by Game Freak first, but I do know that they are released by Wizards of the Coast. I'm not exactly sure how the whole card art thing works, but I love a lot of these cards. I've been collecting the actual Pokemon cards for about 5 years now, and I've got quite a collection. I've got a full binder, and I'm working on my second binder now. Working on it, talking about it like I'm working on a sketchbook like this. Anyway, I've got a lot of cards that I love. I can pop up a few pictures now. But I also have some cards that I don't like, which I won't be putting up pictures because I don't really feel like it. And it's not that I hate them, it's just they aren't the ones I would choose first. I also do play the actual game at a little GameStop near my house. No, I will not be telling you the location. Thank you. Anyway, we're going to talk about the anime now. So, despite not growing up in the 90s, I still watched the original Pokemon Indigo Plateau, also the very first anime to ever release. Me and my brother watched it on Netflix together, and we fell in love with the show. Now, to be completely honest, I always thought that any other Pokemon that wasn't a 151 Pokemon when I was younger was fan-made Pokemon or just random legendaries. So I had seen Umbreon and thought Umbreon was just some kind of legendary. I definitely know that there's way past 1,000 Pokemon now. Don't worry, you don't need to send help. Anyway, I'm just gonna say that pretty much every anime from the Pokemon line, I know it's aimed toward children, is really good. Except, in my opinion, I hate XY. I do not like XY. I do not like that region, that cast of characters. I love the Pokemon, I love the region, I don't like the characters. That's what I meant. I think that we had too many snobby characters. It just felt I don't know. I didn't like that region, but all the rest of it was really good. I would definitely recommend the first 4 shows the most. I think that they're some of the best, and Alola was not something I would also recommend. It was weird, but you can watch it anyway. I don't care. So this one I'm really excited to talk about. It's probably my favorite part of the whole Pokemon franchise, and it has really impacted my art a ton. And right now, you probably won't see it as much, maybe, but I was really trying to emphasize the Sword and Shield style right here. By the way, the only thing I don't like in this piece is the shoes. They turned out bad. But the redraw doesn't look the same because I ended up changing my clothes for summer and I was going to start the game over. Originally, I chose Score Bunny for the actual game, but Swabble is my favorite starter. So, I just wanted to emphasize that real quick before we started. Now, let's talk about it. So, my favorite part of this franchise is pretty much the manga. The first time I ever laid my eyes on one of these was actually at the library. When I pulled it out, it was collector's edition, book number 2 of the original Red and Blue manga. Now, I didn't know what this was, but I knew that was not Gary Oak looking at me in the face. That was something else. At the time I knew Red and Blue existed, it didn't really make that connection at the time. They're two very different people now in my head. And then I also saw this little one, who happens to be my favorite freaking Pokemon character in the freaking world. So yeah, I ended up checking it out. I read it, and I freaking loved it. It was so good. I wanted more. I could definitely tell that it was number 2. But I didn't care. I saw Pokemon on it, I read it, and I loved it. So I bought the first book set and was a little confused when I realized that was a collector's edition. I've made the connection now. You still don't need to send help. And I can show a little picture. There is a picture of a piece of art that I showed that has a big, behind my scenes, my bookshelf in my bedroom, because that's where my painting was propped up. It's on Pinterest. And, this is my collection. The only ones I'm missing actually right now are black and white and black and white too. But I'm not too worried about that. After I bought that one, I got the gold and silver for my birthday, and then I bought Hoenn, and then the other ones came for Christmas. And I still love it. To this day, I reread it all the time. I love most of the side stories. Now, I love Diamond and Pearl, and I loved Sun and Moon for this franchise. I hated XY, and I hated Omega, Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire. They both didn't really feel needed. I didn't like X's personality. So yeah, I'm going to be done ranting about the manga now so that we can start talking about the games. The games. Pretty much the most popular part of Pokemon are the games. Now, the games are really special, and I'm going to be talking about more of the recent ones since I haven't really played Sun and Moon. So, yeah, let's begin. Now, Let's Go Eevee actually also really impacted my art. It taught me more of the proportions I like. Obviously, my style is not Let's Go Eevee, whatsoever, but it really helped anyway. It helped with posing and modeling and stuff, and I love the art of the characters outside of the game. Holy crap, it's gorgeous. And Sword and Shield, I've heard a lot of hate about it, but I love Sword and Shield. I personally don't understand why they didn't like it. I can see what people mean, though, that the games get easier as they get older. And to be honest, I was a little disappointed because, Sword and Shield made me battle one of the gym leaders a few times. It was this fire guy. His name starts with a K, and I don't really want to butcher it right now, so I'm not going to. But Scarlet and Violet, which will be our slow little transition into that, was really easy. I didn't have to rebattle anybody. Not a single time. I barely had to heal at all. Barely any of my Pokemon died at all. I was a little skeptical about the free range part, but you know what? It was really good. I think Scarlet and Violet is really good, and I'm glad that they made it. I do feel like it was still a little rushed. I wish that they had fixed some of the errors, because I have gotten kicked out of the games quite a few times now. And it was so easy that I finished it within less than a month of its release, which was really fast. And And then I want to talk about Pokemon Cafe, United, Snap, and Stadium because those are just 4 random ones that I've played before. So the reason I'm not going to talk about the Diamond and Pearl remake, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, is because I still haven't finished the game. I'm stuck on Cynthia, and I actually kind of liked it a little bit. I know, how dare I like a game not made by Game Freak. Anyway, yeah, let's continue. Pokemon Cafe. Yeah, I like it. I pretty much play it mostly for the events. I do have a little team. I'll put it in the description. The picture is up here. You can join it if you want. I think I do have to, I think I did set it to accept mode. Like, I have to accept that you're coming onto it. So, yeah. And I pretty much play it for the events. I have a lot of event Pokemon. I play it quite a bit because I really like the events. I think that they're fun. And I do need to open it. I really haven't been playing it much. So, yeah. Pokemon Unite. Now, I love Unite, and I thought it was kind of funny because after I did the sketch for this, I realized that as of recording this, Inteleon literally just came out. Now, I played with Inteleon, and I actually really like it. This is what I pretty much look like in the game, and I'm nibs YT on there if you ever want to be friends, or if you ever want to battle or something. I would totally love to battle with you. You just have to friend me. Anyway, here's this. This is my team, and I usually play with Serena. I'm probably going to end up trying to play with Inteleon, and yeah. So let's get into Snap. Now, I really, really like Snap. I think it's a great game. I think it's lovely. I like photographing Pokemon. I'm pretty much almost done with the main quest. I don't know if there's anything else beside the actual main thing, like any sides beside the, like, taking pictures at the, like, camp area side. So, yeah. And Stadium is basically just cut and cold battle, or you can defeat the, like, gym leaders. So I usually play that one with my brother. So, yeah. Thanks for letting me rant to you about Pokemon. If you didn't enjoy the video, I don't care. I just really wanted to talk about Pokemon at least once. So this was kind of my very own little self-indulgentness. So, yeah. Anyway, time for my very lovely shameful plug. Hey! Before the shameful plug, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for letting me rant to you about a really big hyperfixation. And I want to give a little shout out to Foot of a Ferret's video of Pokemon A Brief History because that actually really helped. His videos are very entertaining. I'd recommend that you check him out. I think I'll put a link in the description. That's going to be my very first one. Dang. I never thought I'd get to say that. His video really helped. And I just want to say thank you because this is really important to me. And now it's time for my shameful plug. But I will also be putting my United and Pokemon Cafe information in the description. And now, shameful plug time. I am Nibs Chandler on Pinterest and Nibs is Sketching on YouTube. So if you want to check out some interesting art that you probably don't see on here, on my Pinterest, probably I'm the one operating it, then you can see it on there. So yeah, bye!